Up next, we're shifting gears to explore another crucial dimension of AI, its ethical and inclusive development. Our next panel, Or for Good, How Can We Build Ethical, Inclusive, and Impactful AI Ecosystem, is proudly powered by Prestige Hong Kong. Moderating this discussion is Ms. Oceana Au, Managing Director and Publisher, BurdaLuxury Hong Kong. Please join me in welcoming Oceana to the stage. And thank you, Oceana.
Thank you.
The stage is yours.
Hi. Thank you so much. So I'm Oceana. I'm the publisher of Prestige magazine. I'm very proud, very honored to moderate this session. We're going to talk about building an ethical and inclusive AI ecosystem. So firstly, I would like to introduce my amazing panel. First, Dr. Crystal Falk, Director of AI Application at Hong Kong Cyberport, who leads initiative to advance Hong Kong's AI ecosystem. And next, we have Dr. Jeanne, CEO of BeingAI Corporation, who's worked with humanoid robots like Sophia, redefined human-AI interaction. And then we have Jessica Chen, Marketing Director for Greater China at Wati, who helps SMEs leverage AI for business growth. Welcome, everyone. So you can take a seat. So lovely to have you all today. So before we start, could you please tell us a little bit more about your work in the AI industry? Yes?
So I entered the AI industry maybe about 10 years ago by accident, starting with a robotics company called Hanson Robotics. So basically co-creating Sophia the robot. And after about 4 years, I started my own company called BeingAI. So we're creating empathic AI with personality and character. And basically, they would interact with humans to learn and grow together.
So I've been in the industry for I don't know how many years. But I think because I work for the technology parks for quite a long time, right now our main responsibility is really to build up the AI ecosystem in Hong Kong. So we do hope that leveraging the ecosystem partners to really make AI to boom in Hong Kong as well. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm the marketing director of Wati. For Wati, we offer a budget-friendly messaging platform that built on WhatsApp Business API, Facebook Messenger, and Instagram, and so that we allow this platform for businesses to use and mainly on conversational commerce.
Amazing. So very diverse, ladies in the AI industry. So today's topic is to build more inclusive, ecosystem for AI. So could you share with what ethical and inclusive AI means to you in your specific field of work?
I guess there are many components of ethical AI, but just to simplify for me, it's really about doing the right thing. And so there are many levels to that. One is, of course, you don't want to break the law. There are many legal constraints now in AI, and it's all different around the world. So not breaking the law, but of course, there has to be more because we don't sit around and think about not breaking the law as humans, right? So we have to think about doing something that's morally right. An example how something that is morally right is different from legally right is when I was holding the workshops for girls who code. There was a girl who told me, so she got bullied online because the boys tell her to go back to the kitchen. So the boys didn't actually break any law, but it's actually very harming to the girls. So I think we need to be thoughtful about how we could design AI in the right way so it doesn't harm people, even if it's not, even if it's legally not protected.
Yes, I think I share the similar thoughts because last time when I'm doing a sharing, actually a mom taking two kids joining us. And then we tell them not just believe in AI itself because you have to do the fact check together with the kids. Otherwise, the AI may generate different kind of answers and you just believe in AI. Then I think it's a really education process that we need to really take care of. So be responsible is not just the AI developers, but also the users. We need to take care of all this. And yeah, that is why I think AI ethics and responsibility is that important. But at Cyberport, actually, we want to do one step more because we are showing the AI ecosystem in our mindset. So you can see that on the right-hand side is purely the technology providers. But on the right-hand side is even more important, which is AI governance, ethics, and the risk management. Yeah, in that way, we need a really neutral party to manage all this. You won't believe in OpenAI. OpenAI said that I'm ethical, I'm responsible. You won't believe in that. Even DeepSeek says so, you won't believe in that. That's why we believe that Cyberport can play a role in the middle to tell not only the developer, but also the users that the AI solution is good to go. But that is from the perspective of ethics, governance, and risk management. So later on, maybe I can share a little bit more about that part.
Yes,
Thanks.
yes, please.
From Wati's perspective, inclusive AI means being accessible. As Wati's vision is to help small medium businesses to grow smarter. Therefore, making AI accessible to everyone is key. And nowadays, every business using AI to communicate with customers. So imagine that if your AI isn't inclusive AI, you will probably missing out a lot of potential customers. And if your AI still struggle with different languages, cultures, or so any kinds of bias, you will even put your existing customers at a disadvantage. Also, even harm your company's reputation. Therefore, using ethical and inclusive AI, you will build more trust with your customers, retain loyal one, and even boost your business growth.
It's really interesting. So I will go back to Dr. Crystal Fogg, actually. You mentioned at Cyberport, you guys are shaping Hong Kong's AI ecosystem through policy and education.
Yes.
So what specific initiative, in your opinion, that make AI development more inclusive for startups specifically and for underrepresented groups?
Yeah, sure. Actually, we got two projects already ongoing. I think the first one is the Jeanne AI sandbox together with the Hong Kong Monetary Authority. That one, of course, right now is purely for banks. I think for HKMA, their purpose is to encourage the banks to really adopt Jeanne AI. But they also believe that there are certain level of risk that may come up, no matter from ethics, bias, something like that. And the banking industry in Hong Kong is that important. So as a regulatory body, they built a sandbox together with us. So once the Jeanne AI projects, they enter the sandbox, it is under a totally controlled environment. So even if there's any risk or any kind of incidents, it's still under control. And from the regulator perspective, I know that something is going to be happen, and I know how to regulate it in the future. So I think this is a more practical way to say how to make it inclusive, how to make it ethical and responsible. And from the policy perspective, if you know that the Digital Policy Office, they just launched the Jeanne AI guideline. I think this one is quite a surprise for me. You know, regulators always being slow, and Hong Kong even more slow. But this time, I think Hong Kong is one of the most front and in region that we launched such a guideline for building up the Gen AI or applying the Gen AI in the future. And that one particularly is because Hong Kong has been building our own LLM, and they leverage this project to come up with the guideline. So it will be more practical. It's not just, I think that it may happen, I think that what it is not just by thinking, it's by doing. So I believe that these two initiatives will generate great impact for us. Yeah.
That's really important, actually. I think having all these regulations, especially early stage for us, industry development, that's really important for us to guide out the behavior, the development, next step, and having more control. On the subject of control, I have a question for Dr. Jeanne. Your work with the AI, like Sophia, involves human interactions. How do you design the interface where human can keep the lead role while we can benefit from AI at the same time?
Yeah, so that was actually quite a controversial journey. First thing is because people always question, why do you need the robot to look like us? Can it just be a box? Yeah, of course the robot could be a box. But I think if we design the robot to interact with humans, we're actually taking a human-first approach, because we're designed to be able to read expressions. We're familiar with like a human behavior. And so by designing a human-first approach, you're actually creating a platform where there's trust and there's engagement built. I don't know how much of an emotion can you send to like an Alexa box, but I could tell you people are actually very favorable to, like, they feel that Sophia understands them. Actually, she doesn't really understand the people, but they could actually confide in her. I guess the second thing is the personality of the person matters. So this is what we found is if it's a very extroverted person, he actually doesn't want Sophia to say much. So it's like, okay, yeah, right. But if an introverted person, they actually want Sophia to express more. And so there's actually a personality aspect to it, to designing these human-AI interactions.
And then Sophia can detect that, whether you're introverts or extroverts.
From your tonality and the way you speak. Yeah, not so much from the face yet.
So smart. So Jessica, I'll come to you. From your marketing perspective with Wati, what are the biggest barrier to AI inclusivities for small and medium-sized enterprise, and specifically around the accessibilities you just mentioned and implementation?
From what we've seen with 12,000 customers in over 160 countries, the biggest barriers for SMEs are definitely cost and accessibility. Like, you know, in the past, AI tools were too expensive, and you have to invest a huge budget and even hire entire tech team to get them set up or running. For SMEs, this is just simply impossible. This is also the reason why they are all hesitant to even consider AIs. And we have recognized this issue from the start, and that's where Wati jumped in. We offer a budget-friendly messaging platform priced as low as having casual dinners with friends out that build on WhatsApp Business API, Facebook Messenger, and Instagram. And this allows businesses to have personalized conversations with customers, but we go beyond just basic messaging. To make AI truly inclusive to SMEs, we also offer a dashboard and platform that is super self-explanatory for customers to manage all those conversations. And also, like, for this part, we also offer the dashboard that is perfect for both marketing and CRM lists, including data tagging, data analytics. So our goal is to make these advanced AI capabilities affordable and practical for SMEs, and truly democratizing the access to these transformative technologies. So we believe that by overcoming those barriers like cost and accessibility, anyone can build powerful customer journey.
Well done. So I have a question for all of you, actually. Obviously, data is very fundamentally important for the AI development. But when it comes to ethical inclusivity, how can open or synthetic data make AI system more ethical by reducing the bias in their output? Maybe you can take turns to answer. Maybe Jeanne first.
Yeah, interesting you asked that because I recently attended a webinar by Gartner, and they said that 75% of companies said that they're creating customer synthetic data by next year. There will be 75% of companies that are creating customer data that is synthetic. So that's very interesting. For us, we've actually done a project like that. We asked buyers to create their own buyer's persona. And so basically, they create an AI that has their own personality, their preferences, and then we have the company's salesperson to interact with the customer's persona to understand more about the customer. So I guess this is synthetic data, but the source of it is actually from a real person. So I guess to me, it's a sort of a balanced way of doing it rather than just like closing the door and thinking that we could create a set of synthetic data that is representative of the real person.
Yes, I think synthetic data will be the key trend for generating data for AI model training. But at the same time, another aspect is creating the scenario to test out the AI. Yeah, because for example, if I develop an AI solution, you can't say, oh, I can project what is going to happen. But if you use the synthetic data to generate all these accidents, incidents, or whatever, actually you can test out whether your AI is able to cater all these potential issues. So I think this is another way that we can fully leverage the synthetic data for making it more secure and under our risk control. Yeah.
For Wati's platform, because it's unrealistic for our end users to train the AI, but we still allow businesses to adjust the AI's tone and fine-tune their expressions for inputs and interactions. And we also customers using our AI agent, we can still allow them and they can benefit from our hybrid mode because they can still oversee and monitor the conversations and responses. And once any unsatisfactory responses are identified, they can still fine-tune the AI models. And one well-known issue about the AI is hallucination, which means that when the AI do not have enough information, they will give false information. So we strongly recommend customers to regularly monitor the AI responses and fact-check the AI responses. Yes.
AI developed so fast, rapidly in recent years, and many people actually, instead of embracing AI, they fear that AI gonna replace many jobs faster than they can create the new jobs. So how do you, when it comes to you designed AI, how do you design them to complement human work?
I guess people nowadays have to be conscious about keeping the human in the loop. I actually ran into a researcher who said they did a project to assess how humans work with AI in a collaborative environment. And then they mentioned that the AI was so capable that it actually came to a conclusion very quickly. And then after many trials, the human fell asleep at the wheel. The human exerted less effort because the AI is so good, but because the AI also is not perfect, then actually the results were not as good as when they were both collaborating and checking on each other. So I think we have to be very conscious about making the decision is what is the realm that machine does better. Maybe the realm that's collecting information, amalgamating information, and then presenting multiple perspectives, the machine is doing very good. But for the human, then bringing into the human values, the human empathy, and then making a decision that is like prioritizing humans.
Yeah, I think it's just a common wave happen every 10 years, right? When the cars come, then people think that if you are riding the horse, then you lost your job. When the computer comes, many people lost their job. But what is happening today, everyone is using the computer, right? So it's just a tool. If you don't use the tool for making your own living or even living in the world, then yeah, you got nothing to do. But if we know how to leverage the tool and use it in a good way or a better way than others, then you win. Yeah, it happens all the time. So it should not be a question anymore. The question is how that you learn the tool and then you use it in a right way and in a good way. And then anyway, you will have your own position. Yeah.
I share the similar perspective with Crystal because I think that AI is to augment and supplement human work instead of taking over. Like AI-powered conversational tools can nowadays automate repetitive, high-volume tasks, and they can help you to these are the things that include answering frequently asked questions, providing product information, and even handle the basic orders inquiries. Like these tasks actually can be very time consuming and sometimes mandate human employees. Therefore, by offloading these automated tasks to AI, we can free up a human team and focus on higher value work tasks like customer service and sales. They can build genuine customer relationships and even perform any task that really requires your empathy, creativity, and nuanced judgment. Therefore, for AI, they can handle the routine, and then human can handle the hard and hard. So AI isn't job replacement, but job evolution. So it lists higher quality interactions and more strategic roles instead.
Yeah, actually, I would like to add on this one. Say caretaking. Yeah, you know that it's not easy to find someone to really take care of the elderly. Even though you can find someone, for example, if the elderly is losing their own memory, they just keep asking the same question for 100 times every day. Would you like to answer 100 times? Of course not. But we really got some AI technology that could comfort the elderly and even make some progress in getting better of their memory, something like that. All this is really for good. Yeah, and then not because we are replacing a job, because no one is going to take up this job. And even though there's someone, they are not really performing like that way. So I believe that all this is really some good ways of looking at AI.
Definitely. I feel like we all need to learn to embrace AI. There's a lot of educational work needs to be done. Is there anything that you feel like the government is pushing or the more need to be done to the fear, to get rid of the fear for some people?
Yeah, I think government is doing many things, especially in AI. But I think one thing is still missing is really education. Not having the AI curriculum is easy, but how you change what the role to play for the teacher is different. Because it's easy to learn using AI. Right now, if you say, the teacher keep reading the books and notes and whatever, if I'm the student, actually I will just sleep or go away. So what is the role for the teacher in the future? I think that is what the government should rethink at this moment, yeah.
I wanted to add, it's not just the skill set, it's also the mindset. I think especially in Asia and in Hong Kong, there's a fear of failure. And so we are sort of like, yeah, we want to embrace new things, but we want to embrace it when it's safe and when all the data is there and all the that it's safe to embrace it. But I think with all these new AI tools coming out, just get your hands dirty, try it. It's not perfect, but then just start to get into it, and then you'll be able to get familiar with it.
I think that's why this industry is so charming and attractive, right? We're at probably the beginning stage of everything going to happen. So I'm just very curious. What do you see in the AI develops so rapidly? What do you see in 5 years' time in your world? What would be can you imagine for us in 5 years' time?
Somebody is already saying that in 6 months' time we have singularity. So I don't know whether anybody can project 5 years. Yeah, but I think also be careful of what you read in the media. It's just my personal opinion. Everybody is talking about AGI being the goal. I actually don't know what AGI is. Everybody defines it differently. I think OpenAI defines it, and when AI reaches $1 trillion in revenue. And so that's when he could withhold GPT from Microsoft. So you can imagine this is his definition. So there's really different definitions around about AGI. So the important thing is really look at currently what we could use AI for. Some are ready for commercialization, some are not yet ready for commercialization, and you really approach it in a grounded way, I think.
Yeah, I think 5 years is really too far away. And I always regard AI is just the enabling technology. So what we should expect is how AI is going to change the world or open up more opportunity for us. So let's say 10 years ago, we still believe that autonomous driving is far away. Actually, today is still far away because we still have to solve a lot of different issues. But maybe for AI in 5 years' time, they will open up different opportunity or possibility for us. Hopefully, most of them is really for good. Yeah.
AI is evolving so fast. In 5 years, we can't expect how they improve and evolve. But for our sector, we think that most of the businesses can allocate almost 70 or 80% of automated tasks to AI, and so that they can focus on high value tasks like business planning or other marketing strategy. So it really helped them to empower them, leverage their platform or businesses, or even allow them to compete with larger chains.
Yeah. Actually, I can share one dream, which is in 5 years' time, we already train up our own agent, which is our digital twin, and then the digital twin will go back to work, and then we can go to play.
I like that dream. So I think I have asked all my questions. I don't know whether there's any question from the audience you want to ask our panel. 1 second, the mic is coming to you.
How will you see and the drones with the camera with the AI function? You see DJI drones, they already put the dogs. In Shenzhen City, they put a dog tree on the traffic lamppost. So the police, traffic police can monitor and fine everyone who violate the laws. How do you see the drones with AI?
I think if that is for some particular purpose, it's totally fine. Yeah, if I got a drone, I keep flying and then I keep checking you, of course it's not fine. But for the police, they need to do that for that particular purpose. So to me, I think at least legally they got the right. And then practically, if they are really saving the lives and also making good shape of the city, I think it's good for me, yeah. Yes, of course. Yeah, but in terms of privacy, actually actually, right now, even though for a lot of AI, they don't really capture the face. They capture your motion, your gesture, something like that. They already could recognize you. Yeah. So I think all this we need, like the regulation, to really monitor all this to be happen in the future, and this is the important part. And that is why we got this session today.
Hi, thanks for your comments. I think Dr. Fock mentioned the need for an independent or neutral party to sort of adjudicate on ethical matters. And this is one of the hardest problems in moral philosophy, right? Is there a objective basis for any moral claim? And you can see that different governments approach it in different ways. So there are governments that prioritize social stability, freedom of speech, market forces. So how do you see that developing in future?
I think this is really a good question because everyone will have their own point of view. Every government will have their own point of view. But if I'm the government, the purpose is to make good benefit for my citizen. And that's why different regions, they will have their own thinking. But I believe that the government should do good things for their own citizens. And in the future, let's say Hong Kong would be a special region for all these different regulations to be centralized or translated into different ways. For example, if you're in US, of course you won't do the regulation in China. China won't follow Europe, totally won't follow. But Hong Kong is a special place that may play a role that if you're a Chinese company, you want to go to Europe, maybe in Hong Kong, you can do some changes. And you can have more understanding, better understanding of what other people's looking into. So I always believe that Hong Kong is in a really special position for that purpose.
Anyone else? One more question.
Earlier in the discussion, one of you mentioned that there was a young girl who was bullied online about going back to the kitchen. Now, one of the phenomenons that I've noticed online now is more and more young people are turning to AI as sort of a therapist, right? Maybe it's because they don't have an outreach to their parents or the support system. Do you think AI is suitable for a job like a therapist, where fundamentally it's so about human connection? And if so, what are some things we need to make sure of that the AI model is suitable for this job?
I guess right now I don't see there's a perfect AI to be a perfect therapist. But the thing is, if you think about humans, right, there's a lot of different levels of human therapists. So I think AI could play a part where basically somebody needs emotional support, tier 1 emotional support. So they just needed to talk things out, like talk therapy. And so I think this is like relatively safe for people to be able to interact with an AI that's designed in a way to escalate to the next level, maybe to a human or to a parent or to a teacher. So we actually did a project with the Center for Suicide Prevention Center, and we trained an AI to talk with a human and not make any assumptions, but just to talk to them and then identify whether they are a victim of bullying or a bystander of bullying, or a perpetrator of bullying. And I didn't know that, but the perpetrator of the bullying, as well as the victim of the bullying, they're both susceptible to depression and suicidal thoughts. So once they identify their role, then they take them on another conversation to give them the tools for them to address their issue. And then, as it goes deeper, then they're trained to be able to escalate. Okay, for this particular, if you're actually getting physical assault, you should immediately talk to the teacher and the parent. And, so there has to be a very careful design to make sure that each level is well taken care of.
So I think AI, we can all agree that AI can do so much good, especially at the beginning stage. I think it's really important that all parties need to work together to build a very ethical and inclusive environment for the AI system. So thank you so much, everyone, for sharing today. I think there's lots of still question mark, unsolved questions. No one knows the answer, but I'm sure we're going to keep this discussion going beyond today's discussion. Thank you so much.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, all the panelists, for this insightful discussion.